your legs, your mind
Oh man, keep that working, man, 24/7.
has been moving.
Oh yeah, keep that going. When I first moved to the nursing home, when I first got involved in this new lifestyle of being I would like to say temporary quadriplegic, you know, I didn't have my GED, I didn't have anything, right? I had no health insurance, I had to depend on Medicaid to help pay for my medical expenses. However, I got the most joy out of going out there and accomplishing things by my darn self.
So now, just because I want to make everybody know
there's so much more to me.
You went out and got your GED.
Yes.
You got your college degree.
Both of them, yeah. And also
after you were paralyzed.
Right, right. And also a commodities trading advisor, registering with the National Futures Association, commodities trading.
You know, a lot of people I know we struggle with college, but you actually were in the wheelchair, taking a bus to classes.
I called the bus. You know, I had to plan my day at least 2 days in advance, right? At least 2 days in advance, and I also had a job. I also had a side job, and I did speaking on the side, and also, you know, worked out and did physical therapy to get back on my feet and everything like that.
So
and
where
I also came back home to do homework and.
You're making me feel bad about myself, but
no,
but the thing is, so you're, you know, now where you're at, you have a job. I don't know if you can say actually the company you work for, but you work in a what is your position now? What do you do?
Well, basically I do accounting.
Okay.
And everything like that. And actually, I work in the energy industry. And pretty much the energy industry is what we need all the time to make every movement we make. You know what I mean? To take a shower, you know, I don't know how many people like those cold showers every day. You know, we need that hot water, you know, we need the natural gas, you know what I mean? Drive our car, we need that, you know, gasoline that comes from crude. Part of our everyday life, you see what I'm saying? And so, how I got introduced to the energy industry was through my interest in investing and trading. A friend of mine, you know, who I would consider a mentor, introduced me to the stock market, the local Charles Schwab down the street from a college I was going to. And he took me in there, you know, checked his portfolio, what have you. And he just took me in there that one time, and it just totally just like attracted me like two magnets together, you know what I mean? I was like, this is great, you know what I mean? The ticker was up, you know what I mean? People was getting their checks and everything like that. This was doing the boom, doing the dot.
This is like the late 90s.
Right, late 90s, 99, yeah, right. Okay, so then, after he took me in there once, I started going up there by myself, you know, I'm just hanging out. And, you know, I didn't have a student tie, nothing like that, you know, but people didn't take me serious. You know, they thought I was in there pandering and stuff like that, trying to ask for money and things of that sort, and just really not taking me serious, honestly. And so, but, you know, I kept on showing up, though. You know, they would, you know, play mind games with me, but I kept on showing up, though, you know, because this is what I wanted to get involved in. So I started asking some of the customers, you know, how do you guys invest, and how do you tell a good investment, and talking to some of the brokers and everything like that. And after a while, you know, they started looking at me different. They started saying, wow, you know, a guy that's collecting quarters and stuff like this is not going to be hanging out here all the time because he hasn't been getting anything.
Right.
Nobody has been giving me any money. I haven't been asking for any. So I'm reading I'm reading the Wall Street Journal, the Investor Business Daily that's on the table and stuff like that all the time.
Which is a great magazine, Investor's Business Daily, great newspaper.
Very good. Helps with analysis, you know, stock analysis and things of that sort. And so I'm reading and I'm staying with this. And so, you know, by this time I'm, you know, being introduced by way of my own self-discovery, because after you learn so much, if you really like it, you have a passion to gather more knowledge. You know what I mean?
So you ended up getting a job. How did you get the job where you're at now? How'd that happen?
Well, you know, that's kind of a long story, you know, but it took a lot of persistence, man. I mean, I graduated from OSU, Oklahoma State University, December of 2005. And I started in June of 2004 looking for a job. Because I knew, you know, you got to compete. You know what I mean? Because competition is very important. You need competition. You know what I mean? So, and
you're not looking for a handout, you're looking for an opportunity.
Oh, exactly. Not a handout, but a hand up.
To
you know
compete.
What I mean? Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. All I want is compete. All I want is to compete. You know, because I have a brain too. So I'm starting looking for my job in June 2004. It's super hot outside. You know what I mean? And so, you know, basically, I'm you know, catching a Lyft bus downtown or different areas in the city of Tulsa where there's a lot of office buildings at. And so I have me like about 100 resumes, and you know, and I'm passing out resumes to random people that look like they own a business. You know what I mean? I'm saying, hey, I'm into the oil and gas industry.
So you were doing some stereotyping, people that looked like they had some businesses maybe.
Yeah, I guess you can say that, man.
So you're passing out 100 plus
resumes. I'm in office buildings, 10, 10, you know what I mean? And somebody up and elevator up and down, you know, they pass my resume to various energy industries, because the reason why I got in energy, I found out how important it was, and also I found that you can trade derivatives.
So anybody out there watching this who's maybe applied for one job and you got denied and you felt rejected, hypothetically, you maybe try audition to work at a local DJ company, hypothetically, and you get rejected once or twice or 3 times. How many times did you get rejected?
Man, at least 50 times.
50 times. We'll go with
50 times.
Let's go with 57 times.
At least 50.
At least 50. I want to say 57. It makes me feel more complete if I have a number. So let's just say 57. At least 50 times, though, he gets denied. And then when did the breakthrough happen, man?
Well, you know, I always have my resumes on me, and I always, you know, have that can-do attitude, and that's what I credit for my upbringing in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like I said before, you know, Chicago is not an easy city to grow up in. It was just something I went through there, you know what I mean, that really prepared me for what type of life I'm living now. You know what I mean? Because, shucks, man, like, for example, I had a paper route, right, and I was like 12, 13 years old, right, and I only got paid $2 a day. Talking about child labor, you know. I don't say that, but, you know, it wasn't about the money. It was about me performing an action and making things happen.
Sure.
You know, so I was getting paid $14 a week, get paid every Sunday, right? And so I was like, you know, 12, 13 years old. And so I would make my mom throw cold water on me to wake me up at 4:30 in the morning. You know, because when you got that deep sleep, it's dark outside, and you got to go to school too, and you're in that deep sleep, man, you know, you easily can miss 4:30, 5:30 and get up at, you know, 7 or something like that, right? So I would make my mom, you know, I'd tell her, hey, I want you to put cold water on me, you know what I mean, around 4:30, if I can get up, get dressed, you know what I mean, walk up to the Washington Park branch, off of 63rd and Evans, not far from College Road. And so I would walk up there, you know, dark at night, through 5 gang territories, you know, for $2 a day. And this is in the late 80s and 90s. This is not.
The story I was going to tell my daughter, you know, is I walked to school in the snow and uphill both ways. And you're saying that you walked through gang territory. 5 gang territories. At what time in the morning?
About 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 in the morning.
That's the story you'll be telling.
I did this consistently. You know what I mean? Get my $14 a week, was super happy, you know what I mean? Super happy, you know? So that's what I did. And so with that type of mentality, everything else is like a cakewalk. You know what I mean? If I risk my life for 8 quarters a day, man, just imagine what I'm willing to do to accomplish the best in life. You know what I mean?
So you're out there, you're going to all these different jobs, and then when did you get hired at your current place there?
Well, I got hired there, you know, basically at in January of 2005. And pretty much, you know, that was, you know, a very blessed situation, because like I said before, you know, what I was talking about, I had my resumes everywhere I went. I was at a political function, you know, I mean, Republican fundraising function. And, you know, at that time, you know, I had getting a job. And I saw a buddy of mine who I met in passing and became friends with. And we saw each other, we spotted each other, and we know each other right off the bat. And I said, hey man, you know, I need to call you, I'm trying to get a job, you know, because by this time, I'm like people didn't call me and said they're going to interview me, people didn't say call back, I called back, you know, people say, okay, call back. I called back, people say call back, I called back, you get the idea. And so then, people want me to come up to places, you know, they say,
which is not easy for you to do. You just can't just show up. You just can't.
Oh no, I wish.
I mean, you got.
I wish, man.
It's a little bit of a time commitment, emotional investment to get something.
Yeah. So I'm worn out, man. I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm ready to get a degree. You know what I mean? I'm preparing myself. They say proper preparation is the best, right? I'm preparing myself before I even get the degree to get a job.